Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to CFUR 88.7 FM. My name is Grace Hoksbergen, and today I am joined by Gary and Joshua from the Quesnel-based rock band No More Cries. No More Cries recently released a new album in 2024 called Social Despair, and they're also working on a new album at this moment. Thank you so much for coming in to chat today in person, all the way from Quesnel. That was really nice of you both. I'm very excited. Would you like to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Gary Hartley, and I'm one of the original founding members of No More Cries. Started in 2013, and it's just been growing since then. So it's been a fun ride.
I'm Josh, and I play keyboards in the band, and I mix the sound and do the recording, etc.
Cool. Well, thank you again both for being here. We are excited to have you. So how did the band No More Cries all come together, and how did you all meet, and how did it become No More Cries?
Well, I guess that's my question.
Yeah, that's yours.
Okay, yeah. So in 2013, myself and another former member, we met and decided that we wanted to play some music together. So we started in my garage business at home in Quesnel, and just started jamming some stuff that we kind of knew together. Playing some guitar riffs and not really any vocals or singing. We were pretty much just playing songs based on guitar riffs. And didn't take long to figure out that, we only needed one guitar player, so I had to pick up the bass guitar and learn how to play that, which I did. And it just transpired into, some lyrics showing up one day from the former band member on a song that we do today. And we actually we had a rock, scissors, and paper competition to find out who was going to sing these songs, and so that's awesome. I'm a winner in that way.
Nice.
And so then we ended up with a drummer, a local friend that I'd known since the '80s. He drummed with us for a while until he had to move out of town. So we ended up with another drummer, like you always do. And he was a lifelong friend, a local Bushy Laker in Quesnel that I went to elementary school with. His name was Richard Halliday. And he joined the band for a couple years, and we released our first EP with Richard and wrote a lot of the songs with Richard. And so his departure ended up us finding another fill-in drummer at the time, Chad Stump, who is a local in Quesnel, who's in another band called Corduroy. You might have heard of them. So he hung out with us for a couple years. And right around that time, he's a busy guy, part of the native band community and the government there. So we finally found our lifelong drummer, Grant Diekman. And just after Richard started, Joshua joined the group.
Yeah, that was about 2017, and to begin with, I was just hanging out with him, and we talked about doing the recording, and so we did that first EP. And then one day they said, you're going to play this song with us, and so I did. And then they said, well, okay, you're in the band now. So that's how that went.
Oh, that's awesome. And how long have you been doing recording and mixing type things, Joshua?
For a long time, since I was about 19 or so.
Okay.
Just on my own, in my bedroom, whatever. And I do my own stuff under the name The Manitou. But being in the band has helped me grow, especially with my playing. And, you learn things as you go, mixing, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame recording a rock band as opposed to just doing your own thing, right? So it's been a growing experience.
Absolutely, yeah. Playing in a band is so different than playing on your own. It's a new challenge, but I feel like you can grow so much from it. So what was it like going from recording your own kind of thing to recording a whole band?
Well, you learn a lot of things just how complicated it is to record and make drums sound good.
Yeah.
For instance, and then you're of course you're not dealing with one person. Everybody has their own place in the mix, yeah, and finding that place and pleasing everybody is a challenge, but we make it work. No one's complaining too loudly.
Yeah. So what inspired the band name No More Cries?
Well, I come up with that, and it was early on in the years. It was around 2014, just after we started to do some original music. I wrote a song which I called No More Cries, and lyrically, I think a person would have to sit and listen to the lyrics and understand what the story is about.
Mm-hmm.
And it just occurred to me that it was a unique name. It kind of fits my, particularly as a personal, it fits my mindset slightly. And so, when I thought of the name, I thought, it's nothing better than a title track as well. You got a song that's the name of the band, and I just rolled with it. It was No More Cries from there on in. It just fits. Yeah.
Now I have to listen to the song. Now I'm curious.
It's slightly political.
Yeah.
I don't work hard at trying to be a political individual. I have beliefs, and I have a way of looking at life, and I think No More Cries and a couple other songs lyrically you will see that shine in there, some of the ones that I've written there. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, if you're interested in the inspiration behind their band name, you'll have to listen to the song No More Cries. So what are both of your own personal music journeys, and where did what first inspired you to want to be a musician?
Oh gosh, well, music's been there ever since I was sentient, I guess. In fact, when my mom was pregnant with me, she played the album Breakfast in America by Supertramp pretty much non-stop. That's the only tape she owned. So that can kind of give you an idea.
Yeah.
It just kind of snowballed from there, and I was particularly drawn to the synthesizer as an instrument, and that's kind of where things go for me. But I'm fairly broad horizoned as far as what I listen to. Lots of 70s, 80s music, and even some new stuff. You betcha.
Well, for me, I come from a musical family. My father was in a band in the 60s called the Standells. They played the local halls and the clubs in Quesnel back in the 60s, and him and his brother. And my whole life I've been around musical instruments. Christmas time was, Dad and Uncle Gary and my grandfather playing the steel guitar. My Uncle Dwayne taught me how to play guitar. I still play the very first song I ever learned how to play on a guitar. My Uncle Dwayne taught me, Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, and it's one of our staple covers that we do. We just love doing the song, and we do it really good. It's just one of those things, and so I've always been around the music. I went through school in the 70s and the 80s, and the 70s music is appealing to me. Leonard Skinner, the blues stuff, the Allman Brothers, that type of thing, and then into the 80s, the mid 80s, when the hair bands come along. I'm a big fan of that, of all the the harder, Motley Crue, Poison, all them, that type of a genre. And so, I guess that's just what inspired me. I've played guitar since I was about 5 years old, and the reason I play bass guitar now is because, well, we had a guitar player in the band to start with, so I figured I better learn.
Yeah.
And so I play both. I like to play both, but my main job is the bass and the lead vocals in the band. And again, we're the Hartleys are a musical family, so it's easy to come by when you're like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really think that the music that you grow up with, whether you're not even born yet or whether you are, I think it really has a big impact on like what kind of things you like. Like I remember being in high school and listening to all like the pop music that's coming out now and stuff, but my dad like loves like classic rock music and stuff like that, and eventually at some age I found myself going back towards that instead of everything that I listened to growing up. But classic rock music is awesome.
Yeah. And it's all blues based. You got to remember, even the country and western and stuff from back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, because I grew up on country and western with my dad. You know, like Merle Haggard and George Jones, Hank Williams, and all them. And you know, I'd say Merle Haggard is still one of my biggest idols, even though I don't play country and western. But it's something that I grew up on, and it's the best of the memories.
Yeah.
Is where you start. You know.
I've heard in some of your songs like some blues stuff in there too. Yeah, you guys do a really good job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Social Despair being the last album that you recorded, what was it like being able to record, release, and present this album? And what did you do differently compared to the album before?
Oh, well, we learned a little bit about how to do it properly, for one.
Yes.
Actually, a lot of those songs were still quite old songs as far as the band goes. They've been around for a long time, and we play them a lot, or have played them a lot. So it was mainly trying to get them finished and presentable, and not just having them sitting around on a hard drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but we're really happy with it. It turned out good, and some of those songs are like what we call, I don't know, our classic songs, I suppose.
Well, and a few of the songs are actually from an EP that we released earlier, which that EP was only a 3-man band. We were a 3-piece then. And so we decided that we would re-release those with Josh's parts with keyboards, because it just adds so much to the music of it.
Yeah.
And so a few of those songs are remixed. You know, some of them are like I wrote most of them. Richard wrote a couple, and our other guitar player Eric, he wrote
Couple on there.
a couple on there for sure. And so we just kind of took the group that we had plus all the new music, and you know, combined it to make them all sound the same. A 3-piece band sounds different than a 4-piece band. Mm-hmm. And we like the sound of a 4-piece, with Josh included, and so we wanted to just make them, you know, up to date, so to speak. So yeah, we're really happy with it. Social Despair is, again, we're not politically driven individuals at all. If anything, we are exactly opposite of that. You know, we don't follow politics. I don't follow the, you know, what's going on here and there and all that stuff. And but you will find a couple of songs are politically driven for some reason. Like, for instance, Social Despair, the song Social Despair, was written long before COVID. But if you sit and listen to the words and you listen to the story, you will see the parallels to the COVID situation that we all went through. Mm-hmm. When you listen to the words and listen to the lyrics, you'll go, I can hear exactly what we all just went through, which was astonishing to us. We sat and listened to it one day, and I said to Josh, says, you know, this is like COVID music. And he says, you're right. You know, the story tells the story. It does. It's really weird that it does that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then sorry, there's another song on there called Better You and Me. And it's our take on a classic country sound. There is a blues sound to it, but we've included like steel guitar, and it's a country-based song, and we're really, really happy with that, because it not only I think it's a great song and it tells a good story, it also shows that the band isn't one-dimensional. We can play other stuff. We're interested in other stuff. You know, we're into it, and so with that one there, you know, it fits the album good because it kind of breaks it up. And then there's, you know, 40 Black Clouds, and that's on the 7 album. And there's, you know, some slower ballad type songs that it just shows that we don't all just do, you know, rock blues. And it's nice to have that variation.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think people realize like how much work goes into the recording process and being able to do different styles of music and like practicing something that you're not used to. And doing all that. It's a really, really hard thing. And like being able to mix it all properly and learn from past mistakes and stuff. A lot of work goes into making an album, and like the distributing process and getting it out there and doing all that. It's a lot of hard work. So props to both of you for doing that.
Well, it is fun work. So it's a hobby.
That's true.
We all tend to be really encouraged with our hobbies, and we do spend extra time and effort with our hobbies because it's something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You know, playing live makes you feel good. It's something that you like to do as well.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, the recording process is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And being able to produce it ourselves is the other thing, where we don't have to involve a third party with, you know, a bunch of rules and, you know, other things that you have to follow, because we're leaders. We're not followers. You know, when we do our music, we lead the way. We don't try to follow anybody.
Yeah.
So that's important.
It is very important. I feel that's how music should be. It's your own, and it should always be your own.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have your own recording studio. You said in your basement?
Oh, it's actually a separate building at my place.
A separate building.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's it like being able to record in your own studio? Like, I don't know a lot about Quesnel, so I don't know if there is like other studios that are like not just like part of people's homes. But it must be really nice to be able to have your own studio and to be able to do it like at your own pace, not having to book the time or anything.
Yeah, well, it is. There's a few things. Quesnel doesn't have an actual professional business type recording studio. You know, there's a few people around that are kind of doing some basement recording and here and there.
Yeah.
Our setup is, you know, like I say, it's about 12 or 1,500 square feet. We have an isolated drum room. We have a lot of equipment. We have a lot of options. We have a good recording system that we use, like a DAW system. Josh knows it very, very well. And it's a comfortable place to come. And one of the biggest benefits of having it at home, for me and him too, because he lives, you know, not that far from me, you get to do it when you're inspired. You don't have to force yourself. It's like, oh, Tuesday at 3:00, I got to be at the studio. Well, that means I got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
I need to have my stuff together. I need to be in the mood. I need to have the inspiration. I need to have all that feeling that it requires to produce these songs with feeling. So for us, we can get at it anytime. If I wanted to get up at 2 a.m. because I have, you know, the urge, then I can, which is great. And you end up with better quality because you're not forcing yourself to do something. It's naturally coming to you.
I think that's like such an important thing when you're a musician. Like, I feel like it can be really hard to do something that you feel like you're forced to do, and it's not the same. I feel like the outcome comes out totally different when you're doing something because it's like feels right. Like that's why whenever I'm like wanting to play the guitar or something, I tell myself, okay, everything needs to be out of the case in my room so that I can just pick it up whenever I want, and it can just happen right then.
That's right. That's where inspiration comes from. That's where you get your best stuff from, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think that's where I get mine from. Josh, you know, again, he probably gets his from there. You do?
Yeah, like for sure having the tools at your disposal when you need them, and not having to fuss around setting them up every time is a plus. And like Gary said, we like to keep it casual there. Even if we have other bands in, it's fairly casual and laid back. No one's saying, do it again, or, you know, more feeling, whatever. You just take your time and you get it right how you want it. And that's the way to go, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that is so awesome. That's awesome that you are able to do that with your band.
Yeah, so I'll plug it. It's called Wild Bill's Studio.
Wild Bill's Studio.
And the name comes from my late dad.
Oh, I love it.
He was a truck driver in Quesnel his whole life, and his handle on the radio, the communication out in the bush, was Wild Bill. So there we go. That's Wild Bill's Studio.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. That's a great name. Yeah. So what is the inspiration behind the title of your album, Social Despair? Does it have any impacts or themes on the album?
Well, we going back to the story about COVID, we felt that song in particular, and some of the other stuff on there, it'd be nice to push that angle and make the album sort of a theme, because a lot of the songs kind of they share themes and feel for sure like it's very much, apart from one or two tracks, quite a rocking album, and so yeah, we chose the title based on its impact, I think, more than anything.
Well, and the other thing is that, if we, our whole world, if we Google social despair, what it means, it'll be one thing in everybody's mind. But how I see it is, social despair to me right now is a situation that our social system is in, meaning we're not really living our own lives anymore. We live precariously through, I'm going to just pick on, the internet and the phones and the governing systems that we're dealing with, all the different situations that are happening around the world, including COVID, we're kind of in turmoil. The society is in turmoil. And so social despair, in my eyes, means that our social life it's fragile, and despair meaning it's in a fragile state where things are changing very, very quickly, and for quite some time it hasn't necessarily all been in a positive way. It's been unfortunately a negative way, and so we're having to deal with this individually and also as a social group, as we're all human, right? So we do our social thing all the time, so we're constantly in despair. Not 100% of the time. I'm not all doom and gloom on it.
Yeah.
But the truth is that, I would say the ratio is higher on the negative than it is on the positive these last 10 years. Things have changed.
Absolutely. That is something that I think about so often. I really appreciate that, like, you guys wrote music about that, because, like, I think all the time, I'm like, like, I see things and I go through it myself. Like, you look at your phone all the time, you check your phone, you're waiting for someone to answer, and just as an example, like, someone's not answering you and you're like, I wonder why they're not answering me, and then it starts to get, like, a little worrisome. But, like, when my dad was a kid, you would have to write letters to each other. Like, you wouldn't know that someone wasn't answering for a long time.
And that's one of the negative things about technology and the way that we've moved along, is that it doesn't give us our freedom, and it makes us second guess our relationships with people, with the system, because, like you say, if you don't get a text back within 2 minutes, you presume there's something wrong.
Yeah,
you've done something wrong, and so you're in despair. It's like, so very first thing, don't have a cell phone. Yes. That's me.
Yeah.
So but it doesn't work. I know society and then the world needs the things that we're using right now, but we have to live our own lives. We only have one real big chance around the sun, and so you best do it the way you want it.
Yes, yeah, so, I agree.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's definitely had a big impact on the world and social relationships. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what sound were you going for when you recorded Social Despair, and do you plan to keep the same sound for your new album? I know we just talked about this, but I thought what you had to say was really interesting, so I'd love to have
Josh.
it on record.
Well, there's certainly a couple of the newer songs have a bit more of the synthesizer thing going on, like more atmospheric sounds happening, not just straightforward rock and roll.
Yeah.
A little bit more space to breathe, and then there's a couple of blues songs on there too, like that are more traditional sounding, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're really happy with those two. So it's going to be a bit of both worlds, and still going to be some straightforward rock and roll too, because we like doing that.
Yeah.
Well, with Social Despair, the sound, we're trying to get. It's a kind of a narrative on, I guess it's my view because I wrote the lyrics on it. So it's my view. So I guess I'm trying to, it's almost, it's a strong opinion type of sound, vocally, delivery, the lyrics with the music. It's like, it's not forceful, but it's very direct. And so this next album that we're working on, it will have some similarities, but like Josh said, there's a little bit more room to breathe. Like we'll give you a little bit of insight scoop. Like on one of the next songs, it's called Not Living Long Enough. Not Living Long Enough lyrically is going to tell a story that I don't care where you're from or who you are, or how old you are, you will go, that is right. The words I hear, this is the right story for everybody. Not living long enough. That's and it's very synthesizer driven, keyboard driven. It doesn't have that classic, heavy bass, heavy guitar riff, lead solo type stuff. It's the song leans a lot on Josh. I sing the song. The melody and stuff is done by the keyboards. The intro is done by the keyboards. It is really driven with keyboards, and it's. I'm going to jump out on a cliff and say this is going to be a song this one will have impact, lyrically and sound wise, and musically too. It will. So Not Living Long Enough. You'll see.
Oh, that's awesome! I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to hear like the difference in the type of music as well. Yeah.
Well, and definitely what Josh said about the classic blues sound.
Yeah.
I wrote a song for my dad, and it's going to be on this album. It's called Walkin' the Blues, and certainly a classic blues 4-bar. With a little bit of twist. There's we have our own little thing that we do to them, but it'll be driven definitely like a blues song. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Blues is like a really hard genre of music to play. I don't know much about blues, but you kind of have to have like the swing and like
you have to have the swing, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's hard to play. It's hard to deliver.
Yeah.
The delivery is really good. It's different. It's kind of where my roots. I think other guys on the band will say, Gary, this sounds bluesy because I guess it's in me. I guess it's in me. So I just like it a lot, eh?
You've just got the blues.
Yeah, I just got the blues. And, the second blues track on that one is called Shine Through. And, again, it's fairly classic blues sounding, but definitely some modern tones and sounds in it for sure. So I think everybody's going to like it. We have a really good song list there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very exciting. Yeah. Do you have any secrets you'd like to share about your new album that no one knows? We'd love to be the first, but it's okay if you don't have any. I understand.
Well, I guess the biggest secret is that it isn't finished yet.
But the other biggest secret is we are working on it.
Okay.
Well, one thing for sure is that we don't rush anything.
Yeah.
Like I say, Josh said, some of these songs that we finally released on the Social Despair album, these songs are from 2016, 15. They've been around a long time. And it's just a matter of getting them to where we like them. Here's a secret. I like secrets. Here's a secret.
Oh, me too.
So I wrote a song, I don't know what year it was, organ music was like around 2015. I wrote this song for a friend of mine who struggles with addiction and homelessness. It's called Organ Music. Again, when you hear the new album, check it out because I think this one will resonate really well with people. And so we had it all done. We played it and we recorded it and we thought we had it done. And, every time Josh and I got together, we would listen to it and we'd be like, oh, it's great, but it's missing something. It's just like missing the one little piece, right? And then last winter, we had a revelation. We were sitting listening to it one day and I picked up the guitar and I started doing a little guitar pattern on it, acoustic guitar, on top of an electric song though. And we both looked at each other and said, wow, that's the missing piece. So this song's been around since 2014-15 and we're now going to release it in 2025. So that song's 10 years old.
Yeah.
But it takes that long sometimes to get satisfied, right? You hear it and it's like, oh, everything's good, and it's missing one thing. But now, thankfully, we'll agree, we're so happy that it has the right piece now.
Yeah.
And the format of the song is, it's a little slower in the beginning, but it's one of those songs that builds from the basement, and then the very end of the song is a very energetic finish on it.
Yeah.
So, and lyrically, again, I tend to write lyrics based around my feelings and how I feel inside. And so people will connect with this song. They'll know somebody. They'll hear words in there. They'll go, I know what he's talking about. It'll be there. I know it will.
Yeah.
But these songs that are this next album is going to be, I think it's going to be the year for No More Cries, because it's that next level of workmanship, lyricism. Josh has one of his original songs on there that he wrote and that he sings.
Yeah.
And again, and it's somewhat separated style-wise from what we normally do, but it also fits in that realm.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, people are going to be like, wow, listen to that. That sounds like them, but it's different. It's great.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be more of a band input, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Everyone's contributing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that is one thing, I'd like to mention is that talk about contribution is, like I say, I write most of the songs, not all of them, but all I do is I write the lyrics and the, maybe the chord progression. And then I introduce that to the rest of the guys and ask them to do their own artistic rendition of what fits. When they hear me do this, what does it make you think of?
Yeah.
And allow them to make up all of their own parts. So I don't write sheet music and say, play like this and you do that and do that. None of that at all. It just slowly, we start to play the song and everybody does their own part, and all of a sudden you end up with these parts that work together. So they're not my songs, they're everybody's songs. Yeah, okay, I wrote it. Doesn't mean it's all my song. It means that we do it as a band. I don't dictate what needs to be played and at what part. And I think that is something in music these days. Some of the newer, and not to pick on any of the country pop or anything, it's in all genres. It's very scheduled. It's one individual writing something and then having a session player play it the way he wants, which is great, I guess, in some ways. But then in other ways, it's better to have. We have 4 artists in our band, and that's important to have 4 artistic values and looks at each song. So that's what we do. Guitar solos, drum parts, keyboard parts, they all do their own thing.
Yeah.
So that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, it's an awesome way to write music. Like, more than one mind can create something better than just one mind can create. So when it's 4 people put together who all think completely differently and have different things going on in their head, it makes for something really, really cool in the end.
It does take a little longer.
Yeah.
Because of course it takes time to spawn these ideas for individually, but worth it in the long run. Again, we're not running a race. We're just doing it at our own pace and keeping the comfort level that's good with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, fun stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I only have a couple more questions for you before we run out of time.
Sure.
My next question is, do you have any advice for a musician just starting out in the music world?
Well, I would certainly say it'd be good to find a band to join or at least to hang out with. It's done wonders for the way I interact socially, and also my skills. It's improved my skills to no end being in a band. I'm way better off now than had I just continued doing my own thing.
Yeah. That's like where I'm at right now. I'm like, I kind of want to join a band, but I don't know, but I feel like it would help me grow so much, so it's nice to hear you say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you for that.
For me, the biggest thing is shoot from your heart.
Yeah.
Don't let people tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
Don't follow somebody else's footsteps. Try not to hang on somebody else's coattails. Do your own thing.
Yeah.
Because, again, back to our social system out there, creation of new, different things, music, video, whatever it is so important because of these social media platforms that we have, that everything is just like a swipe away. If you don't see something in the first 2 seconds, you move along to the next thing. And if you shoot from your heart, you will have something different, which means you may retain interest. So shoot from your heart and put everything you have into it. Just work hard at it and be an individual. That's what we always do. That's what we try to do. Not to say that you can't gain from other people's experiences, you can. You need to know how to integrate them with what you're doing, and don't compromise your ultimate goal, meaning, you're the artist. It's you. It's not anybody else. If you sound like somebody, great. It's a compliment. We've played live shows where a buddy come up and said, "Oh man, you sound just like Fred Turner from Bachman Turner Overdrive when you sing." I'm like, "Wow, thank you. That's a compliment. It's great." But do I try to do it? No. Because it's just the way I sing, right? Some people, they've told us a couple songs sound like Iron Maiden. We're like, thank you. This is great. We look at each other, wonder, but but I guess maybe there's like a riff or a delivery, or there's something in there that they recognize, and they put it together. So just do it from the heart. Just do it because you love it, not because you have to do it.
Oh, well, thank you both for those pieces of advice. And the last question I have is, I hear you have an upcoming possibility of a show, and I'm curious about any shows that you might have coming up in Quesnel or Prince George.
Well, that was an hour ago, but yeah, okay. Sure. Well, we always play Billy Barker Days in Quesnel, which is mid-July. We tend to get a couple of stage performances there. We are in Prince George today with you. And we did have some contact with some other individuals in town this morning. We are talking about doing a show in town, or a couple shows. The details are only an hour old. So, but yes, we promise to come up here and play and see if we can get some support, share the music, share the vibe, and, meet some new people. We really want to... we want to collaborate with like-minded bands, and we don't have to be exactly the same genre. We can, as long as they're good musicians and the music is good and the folks like it that want to come and see it, that's really all we care about, because we always have a good time up there. Like when we play live, that's payday for us, not monetarily, more spiritually, and from inside, it's like it feels good when you're done an hour or an hour and a half of playing. It's a pretty amazing feeling. So do it as soon as you can.
Yes.
You might as well get a band.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I know. I look at all these other bands play. Yeah. Like I play solo, but they just look like they have so much fun, communicating.
Starting as a solo, Josh was playing solo before. He was producing and mixing and doing all the music, drums, guitars, everything. He was doing all his own stuff.
Yeah, that's
through
pretty
the Manitou.
Cool.
Yeah, so, it's something else to check out. You check out Josh's personal stuff, the Manitou. It's some good stuff, and you'll hear some of the vibes in our songs from him.
Yeah. Oh, cool. It's a really hard thing to do all those things on your own. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I tried once, and
there's lots of cheating involved.
But there is a ton more passion.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you both so much, Gary and Joshua. It was really, really lovely getting to talk to you both, and I enjoyed the time that we have spent together.
Yeah,
so
us too. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to this interview with Quesnel-based rock band No More Cries. You can stream No More Cries music on all streaming platforms, and be sure to check out their previous albums that they have released. You can find their Instagram at No More Cries Band and their Facebook at No More Cries to keep up with any updates about shows, maybe in Prince George coming up and in Quesnel, and about their new album. We really look forward to hearing your new album and wish you all the best recording it. Next up on CFUR, we have the song Social Despair from their newest album, Social Despair. So thank you so much, listeners. Awesome.
Perfect, thank you. So you guys are going to play Social Despair then?
We are. I was going to play a different song, but I'm very curious to hear it now, so decided to play that song. Yeah.
Is there any swearing in that song?
No.
No More Cries there is.
Okay.
Just a little. Well, twice. It's just the same word.
Look real deep, you must choose life. Take your time, change your ways, do your deed, or the devil you pay. Yeah! Hey,